What's up, everyone? It is your girl Ariana Chanel with the Petty Punch. And if you missed last night's episode of The Real Housewives, don't worry, because I'm here to let you know all the scoop that went down on last night's episode. So we first kick off the episode with Portia meeting with her publicist and her team, and she basically says she wants to take acting a little bit more seriously, so she's actually going to meet with an acting coach. So we'll see if Portia gets any jobs along the way. Then meanwhile, Sheree and Kim meet up and they're having lunch together. They're waiting on Nene to arrive because the three actually haven't hung out with each other in a really long time. So as they wait, Sheree had to let Kim know all the details of all the tea that's been going down within the girl group. Kim asks about, the situation with Portia and Candy and Nene, and Sheree basically tells her Portia and Nene aren't going to get along anytime soon. Kim tells Sheree that Candy asked Kim one time to, eat her box. Now these are some extreme allegations that got Portia into a lot of drama last season, so I wonder how this is going to go this season. Then they get on the discussion about Tyrone, Sheree's boyfriend, and Sheree's really in love with this guy. She thinks that he's the one, and as soon as he gets out of jail, she plans to actually, be with him in possible marriage. Kim basically tells her, don't listen to what the other girls have to say, just if you really love this man, it won't matter what anyone has to say. Then it's like they're waiting on Nene for over an hour, so they finally call Nene, and Nene's like, y'all didn't get the memo, I'm not coming. So they're like, well, why aren't you coming? She says, I feel like there's a lot of elephants in the room that need to be addressed, so until we can address those, there's no reason for us to be hanging out like that. Kim and Sheree are kind of confused because they don't really understand what elephants are going on. Sheree's like, me and Nene have been cool this whole year, so I'm highly confused. But Nene did say the reason why she has an issue with Sheree is because she brought Kim to Nene's party without even asking, and then Kim ends up, causing all this commotion at Nene's house, so it was already a bad start with them. And Kim then tells Sheree she might think that Nene has a problem with her because Brielle put on her Snapchat, she took a picture in Nene's bathroom and there were cockroaches in the back. And so she put it on Snapchat, but Nene didn't really address those allegations yet, so I guess we'll have to see next episode on what was the tea with that. Meanwhile, in the episode, Cynthia actually does a school supply drive. So she wanted to collect school supplies for all the children that cannot, unfortunately, afford school supplies. So it was a great, community service effort. And then Kenya came by to, help out as well. So when Kenya comes by, Cynthia tells her all about Will and how she's really just, really starting to like him, but she doesn't want to be exclusive. So she's kind of like, I don't know what to do. Kenya tells her, girl, take your time, don't rush it. Then next thing you know, Will comes in, and Will's like, hey, babe, nice to see you. I'm going to Brazil next for a whole week. And Cynthia's like, why are you going to Brazil? She's kind of worried about all the women in Brazil. And Kenya had to pull Cynthia aside and be like, girl, stop acting like you have a high school crush. Get a grip. It's okay. Let him enjoy him and just calm down a little bit. Clearly, Cynthia is very infatuated with this man. So hopefully they end up having a long-term relationship. Back to Sheree. Tyrone calls her, when she's with Kyra, but she doesn't want to answer the phone around him just because she's kind of a little uneasy about bringing another man around and telling them about how he's in jail. So when Tyrone gets on the phone, he has some good news for Sheree. He says that the lawyers are working everything out, and Sheree does confirm the reason why he is in jail is for fraud. But however, Tyrone says he's innocent, and Sheree does believe him. Sheree is very excited for him to get out of jail because she wants these ladies to know he did not do it. Now, we get to the end of the episode, and this is when things take a left turn. So, the elephant in the room party actually turned out to be Nene wanting to meet with the girls with a medium. And Nene brings a medium to their conversation. And so when Nene first walks in, she greets the medium. They end up having a mini conversation so she can kind of give her a little preview of how this conversation may turn out. So as the girls come into the room, the medium asks each lady to give them their phone. And the ladies at first are kind of like, oh, what's going on? This is kind of strange, but okay. So Kim, Portia, and Sheree decide to show up together. Now when the medium asks for Kim's phone, Kim is already like, you don't need my phone. I got 6 kids. I don't want my phone to be taken away. But the medium's just like, we just want to make sure everyone is focused. We don't want any type of distractions. So Kim it's already kind of some drama with her. The medium then goes around and basically says the energy that she is feeding off from each lady. When she gets to Cynthia, she pretty much tells her, You know, there's a lot of people in your circle that are telling you one thing, however, I think you should listen to him. So Cynthia's kind of like, well, maybe she's talking about Will and him being an opportunist. So Kim says under her breath, girl, don't listen to her. We don't know what's going on. Just remain true to yourself. The medium hears Kim talking under her breath, so she's like, is there something that needs to be said, Kim? Kim had already been feeding off bad vibes from the beginning, so Kim and the medium end up getting into it and exchanging a couple words. You know, Kim is obviously going off on her, saying that the medium is bad energy. She doesn't want nothing to do with it. The medium then asks if she can clean off her and Kim through some natural remedy that the medium had so that they can have a fresh start. Kim refuses, and the medium is pretty much frustrated. She's like, you know what? I give up on this. And Kenya's frustrated with Kim as well, because as the medium is trying to talk to Kenya, Kim is still under her breath talking mess. Kenya asks Kim to leave, and she doesn't. So things just take a left turn from there. Once the medium leaves, Candy decides she's going to be the mediator. They first start off the conversation with Portia and Nene. Clearly that's never going to get resolved. So then they move on to the next conversation, Nene and Sheree. Sheree brings it up and said, well, what's the elephant with me? Nene says, I don't have anything to say to you. But Sheree said, well, you called me and told me that there's an elephant in the room with us, so I just want to know. The two end up exchanging words. Sheree's like, you called my man a con artist, but yet you have mugshots. He's like, that's not the same thing when your boyfriend's in jail for fraud. Sheree's like, I love him and he didn't do it. I don't want to hear any of that. So they end up exchanging words and it just gets a little messy. Nothing really gets resolved. Then as, you know, Nene is talking to Sheree, of course Kim has something to say under her breath. And Kenya's like, look, I'm tired of all this back and forth with you. And so Portia's like, well, what is the real issue between y'all? Kenya says the real issue between her and Kim is that Kim always had something to say from the very beginning that she met her, even though they really didn't know each other. It's pretty much over the conversation. She really doesn't want to hear anything Kenya has to say. So all the girls end up leaving, except for Kim and Nene. They actually stay back. Kim and Nene try to resolve their issues, you know. Nene's like, I feel like you're not supportive. Kim's like, you know, I think honestly you're on drugs, and it was just a messy situation. So we'll have to see what happens next on next week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So be sure to tune in next week, and also go on thepettypunch.com for your latest entertainment and gossip news.